Hi, my name is Werner Bielefeld. I'm the Dean of International Education at RED DEER Polytechnic, and I welcome you to Canada and in particular to RED DEER Polytechnic. Our RDP international team offers academic and settlement support services to all our international students. We are here to help you along this exciting journey. Our state-of-the-art campuses and student housing are your home away from home. We invite you to learn and to connect with your instructors and fellow students. Get involved and take advantage of everything that RDP has to offer you. This is your time, and we are here to help you succeed. We are so thrilled that you have chosen to study with us. Welcome to Canada and to RED DEER Polytechnic.
Good morning, everyone. Thank God it's Tuesday, May 14. Good morning, bro.
Good morning, Kuya Nikki. Tuesday na. It's a rainy, I think it's a rainy morning here in Calgary. So mga kababayan, kung mainit sa inyo, dito may konting bahid ng ulan naman sa Canada.
Yes, sa amin naman po, it's sunny 23 degree in Ontario. Ayan. So mga kababayan, once again, this is the Morning with the Kuyas. Kuya Nikki po, and yung education consultant.
Ayan po, ako po si Kuya Mikpik, ang inyong RCIC or Regulated Canadian Immigration Consultant po. So we'll talk about almost anything under the sun for immigration. Meron tayong special guest ngayon, mga kababayan. So abangan niyo po to.
Yes, and of course, sa mga viewers po natin would like to also request if you can share this live session po kasi it's going to be an informative session, especially we have one of our top partner school in Alberta. Yan, baluarte po ni Kuya Mikmik to. No? And of course, bro, let's also greet our viewers all over the world.
Oh yes, first off, let's congratulate those who got permanent residency. Thank you for trusting us. Di na namin kayo isa-isahin, madami kayo, pero salamat po sa pagtitiwala sa amin from your first entry to Canada as an international student and towards getting your permanent residency. Thank you for trusting us. And of course, those who just finished their programs, congratulations. Kayo po ay on the next step towards your goal. Magtatrabaho na tayo ng magtatrabaho using the PGWP. And for those na nagsisimula pa lamang at bagong approve, salamat din po sa tiwala at patuloy na pagtangkilik sa Canada. Ayan.
Yeah, also to all students who just finished their first term, second term, or third term, or even their last term, congratulations. And for those students already starting their term, how do you say that? Start strong. This is the best time to really get an impression sa mga instructor ninyo. And paano ba yun? Sa atin kasi pumondo tayo ng pre-mid at midterm.
Para sa guest natin, English natin. You want to start strong so you have a good foundation for your grades because at the end of the year or your program, there are schools that would also require a minimum cumulative GPA. Maybe we'll ask that later if that's true. But it's always good to have a strong GPA towards the end of your school para po nakapondo na kayo. It's also good to have grades because some employers, not everybody, might also want to check your grades. And if you're also in pursuit of higher education once you become a permanent resident, normally your last 2 years of education, they would be checking your grades. So let's say you studied in a post-secondary program and then you want to take it to the next level, let's say master's, for example, then that would be their basis, your last 2 years of study. Ayan, mga kababayan. Hope you can share before we start with our guest. Ayan, may clue na hindi kami nagtatagalog So alam niyo na ano mangyayari mamaya. Ayun po.
So with this school is very close to Migrate because it's in Alberta. So
Yes.
you never go wrong in Alberta when it comes to taxes, jobs, opportunity, PR.
Cost of living, siguro kayo Nikki, especially with this one, the cost of living is significantly more affordable compared to other major cities. At good news po, may Jollibee. So there's a Jollibee. So if there's a Jollibee, there's a strong indicator that there's a strong
Huge
Filipino community, or there's a huge community or booming community for that area. So may Jollibee po. That's already a good indication that the city would be heading the right direction towards growth, especially for the Filipino community. Ayan.
Yes, and I think last Feb we just went there to
Yes.
celebrate Family Day with Filipino students
Yes.
for Red Deer Polytechnic, and it was the first time we did it, but for sure it will not be the last. Hoping that we can gather more because who benefits this gathering are our kababayans, the international students,
So
especially.
yeah. So definitely it won't be the last. The first one we did was great. It was a great turnout, and some of those attendees are actually permanent residents now. So you get to see how proactive the Filipino student community in Red Deer is. So yan, siguro Nikki, without further ado, I think it's time to introduce our guest for today.
Yes, so please do help me welcome Miss Chantal, the International Recruitment Manager of Red Deer Polytechnic. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. How are you today?
We're good.
Good morning, Chantal.
Chantal, by the way, we are live on all our social media stream in YouTube and all our Facebook. And right now, we're inviting everyone to please do share because Chantal has a lot of things that she want to share. But just to introduce herself, Chantal, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Chantal Marchand, and I'm the International Recruitment Manager here at Red Deer Polytechnic, and I'm so happy to join you. I was going to, dust up my Tagalog, but I fear that it's probably not the best. So I'm just going to welcome you and say good morning in my native language. And can you guys help me out? How would I do that in Tagalog?
Magandang umaga.
Oh,
Or you can just say mabuhay.
Mabuhay. I remember that from the airplane.
Yeah.
So, thank you both for having me on today. And I'm excited to chat with all your viewers about, Red Deer Polytechnic and the opportunity to study with us. And of course, your team at Sun-Cor has been a valuable partner to us over the years. And we're really grateful to have your support and for having us on here today. So, if you guys are okay, I'll get into kind of a quick presentation. I'm just going to highlight some of the key features of our school, and then we're going to leave some time to talk because I know it's important for your viewers to be able to ask us questions and for us to learn from your viewers as well, right? With all these changes, I know there's some hesitation and we want to particularly address some of that today, but also just talk about the community that we have here and the supports that you will have when you join us here at Red Deer Polytechnic. So without further ado, I don't want to take up too much of the question time. So I'm just going to share this really quickly, and sometimes it is a little slow just to kick on here. So you just let me know once we can see. Oops, this is not what I want to do. It doesn't matter how many times you practice these things. It never fails that it's always not quite right.
Yeah, this is proof that we are live.
Yeah, that's why it proves that we are live.
Exactly. No hesitation there. There's always a hiccup. All right. So on behalf of myself, again, like I said, my name is Chantal Marchand, and I'm the International Recruitment Manager here at Red Deer Polytechnic. And I deal with the majority of the incoming students, their questions, and anything you might want to know about Red Deer or the school before you get started. So just first, I just want to talk a little bit about Red Deer Polytechnic. Oops. See, hang on. Okay, so just to start, so Red Deer Polytechnic was formerly known as Red Deer College, and we've been delivering education to students from Central Alberta in Central Alberta for nearly 60 years. We offer a wide range of programs from 1-year certificates to 4-year degrees. We are a designated learning institution, so that allows international learners to access study permits and pursue employment after completion of their program through the PGWP, or the Post-Graduation Work Permit program. We have over 7,000 students at RDP, including approximately 1,000 international learners. But we do still offer small class sizes, so that's definitely something that you might be interested in as you're navigating a new educational community. Having small class sizes means you have direct access and personal relationships with your faculty and your instructors. So that's always really important. We have a supportive learning environment, including our mentorship and counseling and academic supports, which ultimately leads to high student satisfaction, with 96% of our graduates being satisfied with the quality of their education. And then just really quickly, a little bit about Red Deer. So I like to consider Red Deer the sweet spot. And sorry, Michael, I know you're in Calgary, but I think we're in the perfect location, sandwiched right between Edmonton and Calgary. We are a city, but we are a smaller city. We have about 100,000 people in our city, and we're a smaller community. So it's easy to get around. It's easy to make a community here in Red Deer. But we also have all of the important things that you would want in a city. So we do have public transit. We have plenty of housing. We have a lower cost of living than our comparable larger cities. And we have all of the amenities that you might want to expect from a larger city, including, like you guys mentioned, our newest Jollibee. So, you have to make sure that you have all of the things and the essentials in your community. And I think we have it here. So just for those of you that aren't familiar about what a polytechnic is, because it was a new language for us too in 2021 when we became a polytechnic, it changed our mandate. And what that means is that we focus on the economic and social interests of the province. And we have industry relevant programming and enhanced applied research opportunities. But what does that mean to you? Why does that matter if you're looking to study in Canada in a polytechnic? And for learners, it creates benefits because of our close connection with the industry. We provide learning environments that reflect where the industry is going, so that you are learning in an environment that is headed in the direction of the social interests of the province, which is very beneficial when it comes to your workplace outcomes after. So for those of you who aren't familiar necessarily with the geography here in Canada, Red Deer Polytechnic is in the province of Alberta, which is where Kuya Michael is living now. We are on the western side of the province, located in the province of Alberta. And we were between, like I said, sandwiched right between those two major cities of Edmonton and Calgary, located at point 1 and point 3 on the map. We're number 2, right here in the middle. So you're just a short drive, less than an hour and a half away from either one of the big cities. And for those of you who like your nature and want to experience the Rocky Mountains, we're also a really short drive, but within 3 hours, you can be in the mountains. So it's a really great location and something we're quite proud of here at Red Deer Polytechnic. So next, I just want to talk a little bit about why you might want to choose to study in Alberta. So Alberta offers the highest wages and lowest taxes. The average income in Red Deer or in Alberta is $77,000 a year. And we have the lowest taxes in Canada at just 5%. We do not have a provincial sales tax, meaning you have the opportunity to make more money and spend less in taxes. We also offer many immigration pathways through our AAIP, or the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, which has several streams that might be of interest to international learners. We have an affordable cost of living, like the Kuyas mentioned, and I will show you a little bit what that looks like here in our next slide. And then we offer high visa approval rates. So in Alberta, I believe the last I checked, we are the second highest visa approval rates in Canada for study permits, and have consistently been approximately 68% above the Canadian average since 2021. So next is our cost of living comparison. So I just pulled some numbers offline from Numbeo. And as you can see, this is, I think, a really big selling feature for those who might be looking to study in Canada but don't want to spend all of their money in accommodations. So as you can see, we're about $500 less a month than Calgary, and certainly less than half of what you might consider in Vancouver and Toronto. So like I mentioned, if finances are something that you're considering when you're thinking about studying in Canada, we believe that we have a great opportunity here. So next, I just want to really quickly highlight student supports, and I'm not going to dig totally into this, but I want, our viewers to know that studying in Canada doesn't just end at an application or with recruitment. Recruitment is certainly something that you want to know, but what happens once you get here? How are you supported once you're part of our RDP community? And it's something we're really proud of here at Red Deer Polytechnic is we have a great staff in our international office that provides international students with the supports they need as they transition to our school. So the first one I want to talk about is our Foundations for Success course. This is a course that we send to all of our new students before they even come. So when they are still at home, before they travel to Canada, they will receive this Foundations for Success course. And it'll cover everything from rights and responsibilities of students as studying here in Canada. It talks about all our systems and structures here at Red Deer Polytechnic. So how to log into the Loop and Blackboard and how to access your RDP email, academic integrity, what does plagiarism look like? And then last but certainly not least is obviously getting to know Canadian culture, understanding the city of Red Deer, our transit system, how to set up your banking, how to access your health insurance, how to get a cell phone, all those really important things that you'll want to know before you even get here. Next, we have lots of events here at Red Deer Polytechnic to celebrate our international community. We also have an international student mentorship program. And so this program was designed because some students come here without family supports, and they may feel lost or afraid when they are first entering the institution. And the mentorship program, we like to consider this as your first friend on campus. So we pair new international students with established international students so that they can help you navigate, the new life that you're living here in Red Deer, all the new things that come along with being a student, and to help you access the supports and understand somebody has been here before you, and if you have a question or a concern, somebody has probably walked your shoes before, and this mentor will help you through any issues that you have. We also have our international student navigators. They're available both in person and online, and they will discuss anything from admission requirements to application processes, study permits, and all kinds of things that you might have questions about. So they're kind of your go-tos once you become students here. And then lastly, we offer a lot of timely and specialized information. So it might seem like we are sending you a lot of information here at RDP, but we want to make sure that every student is informed in a timely manner. So we do tailor our information to make sure it is applicable to you. So before, once you've applied, we provide you study permit sessions. We will give you a session when you first get here on how to apply for your social insurance number. We make sure that you're informed on any of the important IRCC updates, and then obviously preparing for graduation once you're later into your studies, and even moving forward. So there are important things that I want to stress to you, that you're not alone, that we have a full team here to support you once you get here. Moving on, we have international student housing. Well, we have all student housing, but it is available to international students. So if you are concerned about a community, you will have a student community if you are living here on campus. Our student housing we have here on campus starts as low as $572 a month. That would be a private room with a shared living accommodation with 4 other students. So you would have your own private bedroom, share a kitchen, and share a living space. We are also piloting a project for the more cost-sensitive students. If you are interested in something even more affordable, we are starting to bunk some of our rooms so students can share a room, and that'll bring that price down even further into the $400 mark. So we are testing to see if there is an appetite for where that kind of shared accommodation, and if that pilot is successful, we're going to expand it. So really quickly, program highlights. I'm not going to get into every program we offer. I promise I won't bore you to death in that respect. But we do have a high student employment rate with 90% of our graduates finding employment within 6 months of graduation. Within our programs, we have valuable practicums, hands-on learning experiences. So within most of our programs, we have what we call a WIL, or a work integrated learning experience. So within your program, you're not just learning theory out of a textbook. You're getting the opportunity to apply your studies right into the job market. It also gives you that hands-on learning. We find that many students benefit from an applied type of study environment, but it also gives you, Canadian job experience for when you move into the job market. Our faculty have excellent industry expertise and are very well connected as well. As you can transition to the job market, they can help connect you with industry. And then obviously we do have flexible schedules in many of our programs to help students who maybe need to, take on part-time employment while they study. So with more than 80 programs in 7 different fields of study, including health sciences, arts, business, creative arts and education, and engineering and technology, we offer something for everyone, including 1-year certificates, 2-year diplomas, and 4-year degrees. And our practical learning approach is designed with your future in mind. So like I mentioned, there's a list of all our programs. We certainly feel that, if you're looking to study in Canada, we do have something that would suit your interests. But especially here today, I wanted to introduce, and you guys are some of the first to be hearing about this, some of the new programs that we're working on. So like I said, because of our industry ties, we definitely are looking to create programs that are in demand in the province. So a couple of the programs that we're working on a 2-year executive assistant diploma. This one should be coming online within weeks. It has been approved and it is just under development. So we are going to hopefully be putting this one online within the next few weeks. We're also working on an AI, or an artificial intelligence program. This program is going to be very interesting because it has a bunch of different applications. So it can be used as a post-bac or post-baccalaureate, or what many people internationally consider a PG program. You can also do it as a 2-year diploma. And then there's also those work integrated learning components as well. So that program, as well as our advanced accounting 2-year post-baccalaureate program, both have a co-op option. So if you're looking for a co-op program, both of these programs will have a co-op component that you can opt into. And lastly, and I think for the Filipino community, this might be a really great entry point if you are an internationally trained healthcare professional. The practical nurse program, we've just developed a prior learning pathway for that program. So it is an accelerated diploma. It gives you the opportunity to do a 2-year diploma in as little as 1 year. So just moving on, This program is designed for internationally educated nurses or healthcare professionals that are interested in completing the program at an accelerated pace. This means that you can get into the job market faster and at a reduced cost, because any of your prior learning credit is granted at a reduced rate. So your competency will be based on a course-by-course basis. So we will look at your prior learning and determine what is applicable to the program as it stands right now. And you can be granted up to 1 year of studies. So it's a really interesting program. And for those who are looking to study and get into the healthcare field, we believe this is going to be a really exciting pathway for that. So this one is going to start, we are accepting applications for it now to start in winter of 2025. So all that being said, I know I've talked a lot, so I'm just really excited to hear from you guys and what kind of questions you might have for us. So I can drop down my screen and we can open it up to you guys and to the chat to see if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chantal, for the very informative presentation.
Yeah,
And
it was my pleasure.
the good thing that you highlighted the new programs that you're offering, especially for the Filipino community. Kuya Mikmik, let's just give them an idea. Alberta, has the most number of Filipinos.
Based on our travels all over Canada, Alberta seems to Alberta proves to have the most number of Filipinos spread out across its province. Red Deer has we have identified Red Deer as one of those with a growing Filipino community, maybe exponentially if I were conservative. Like I mentioned earlier, Jollibee was a strong indication that there are a lot of Filipinos there. Otherwise, the business wouldn't be there. And I was shocked at the pricing scheme that Chantal showed. Like it's $500 cheaper than Calgary. I wasn't expecting it to be that more affordable, and it's even less than half of the cost of living for Toronto and Vancouver, for example. But what's interesting is Chantal showed that 572 per month. Is that a room? It's a shared room, like right, like with bunk beds.
No, so the $572 a month would give you your own private room.
Oh, okay.
And you share your kitchen and living space. So the living room and the kitchen would be shared with 4 students, each with their own bedroom.
Wow.
That's actually a good price.
Yeah, the bunked rooms is the program that we're piloting to get that cost down even lower into the $400 mark. So at that point, then you would be sharing your own private bedroom with another individual in a bunk type situation.
Would this rooms still be located across? I think we were able to visit one of the rooms in campus. Would it still be located in campus?
Yeah, so we have expanded our residence and we are looking to grow even more, obviously, as every school is. But we still do have a lot of on-campus housing available to our students. Our on-campus housing is it's a mix. So we have our towers units, which are actually attached to the main campus. Then we have our townhouse units. So it's like a full townhouse where you walk in, it's your own personal like little house where you walk in, there's the living room and the kitchen. And then you go downstairs, you have 2 bedrooms with a bathroom, and then you go upstairs and there's 2 bedrooms with a bathroom. So that's kind of those individual suites, but they're not attached to the campus, but they're on the like right on our campus.
Campus grounds.
Yes, thank you. And then we also have our brand new residence building. That building is mostly studio suites. So that would be for students who aren't looking to share. That would be a private suite where you would have your own kitchen, your own living room, your own bedroom, and it's all kind of in a studio type scenario. So we have kind of something for everyone who is looking, depending on their preferences, whether they want to be alone or they want to share. Obviously, the cost does go up
Mhm.
if you are looking at those studio suites. I think they're closer to $800.
Oh, that's still quite affordable compared.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, we encourage students to choose on-campus living because it does help create that student community as well, right? It helps you get connected with not only the school, but your fellow classmates, other students studying at RDP, whether they're international students or domestic students. It helps create that community for students. Our residents also, they put on tons of events to get our students together. So if you want to stay connected and you're worried about, I don't know anybody when I get here, or I'm not sure if I'm going to make any friends, we definitely think residence creates that community for students. And they host a lot of things that help connect our student community, particularly those who are living in residence.
Yeah.
I feel like it's it's a good environment, or it's a perfect setting if you're somebody. Let's say you're somebody coming in alone, and you don't know anybody, but you also don't want to be by yourself living in a foreign land. That kind of residence actually would be a good experience to, number one, break the ice. Number two, start making friends. Number three, be more familiar with your environment before you actually stepped out and enjoy what's out there. I remember when I was still studying abroad, not in Canada yet, but this was somewhere else. I also lived in a residence, and it was there was a big language barrier, and it actually helped me get more familiar. At least I went to the library cafeteria before I started venturing out. So from personal experience, guys, and to all our viewers, if let's say you have hesitation sending your younger brother, younger sister, your children, and you're worried that they'll be by themselves, the residence is actually a good option. It's also a more affordable alternative if you rather than renting privately.
Yeah. And I mean, I just wanted to highlight, our Filipino community, like you mentioned, has grown significantly at Red Deer Polytechnic over the last 3 to 4 years. And not just at Red Deer Polytechnic, but in our community. We have a very strong Filipino community here in Red Deer that are very well connected. And so, I just want to encourage, like, if you think you're going to be alone, the Filipino community is very welcoming here at Red Deer Polytechnic. The Filipino students have actually overtaken as our largest cohort of international students. So we are definitely, you will find comfort in knowing that you're not going to be the only international student or the only one who might know your language. You'll usually be able to pick up a friend who you can speak your mother tongue with and just feel a little bit more at home, right? I mean, obviously your classes are going to be taught in English, but we find our Filipino students tend to find each other and find comfort in knowing they're not the only ones, and in fact they are one of our largest populations here.
Yeah, the good thing with Filipino students is English is not an issue with them, right?
No.
Actually, in a very diverse, school, Filipino will always find ways how to, make their life easier, how to do things, in a happy way. And we love to do parties. We love to do, like, gatherings, and recognizing a Filipino organization inside the campus only shows that the school itself is supporting the Filipino community, and knowing that Red Deer Polytechnic is a very diverse polytechnic school, and it's also combined with the domestic students as well, where all the people from other countries can really understand what's the Canadian lifestyle as well, right? So this is really, exciting feeling for, especially for those newcomers. They wanted to learn how the Canadian life is, or life from other countries as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm very excited knowing that one of the top cohort that is going to be, it's a growing community, and Kuya Mikmik said Jollibee is one of the proof. Jollibee is the McDonald's of Philippines, and I haven't eaten the Jollibee in Red Deer, but hopefully soon. I'll next visit. We'll get a drop by over there.
Definitely.
Chantal, I have there's a question here in my phone.
Of course.
Regarding the admission process, with the PAL right now,
Mhm.
they're asking is how's the seats, how's the allocations for Red Deer Polytechnic?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, the announcement on January 22nd kind of took every institution by surprise, and we waited with bated breath as to what that would mean for our institution. But thankfully for us and many of the schools here in Alberta, we are not seeing the impacts to the degree that they are in Ontario and BC. We at Red Deer Polytechnic are moving forward with if you are eligible and you were receiving an LOA, we will be allocating a PAL as it stands right now. Our allocations were strong, and we feel with the valued applicants that we receive here that we can grant all students who are eligible to attend a PAL.
Okay, and how's the process for the PAL?
Yeah, so this has been a little bit of a multi-step process as we worked our way through what do we do with the students who are already applied, and then what do we do with the new applicants. So as of April 1st is kind of once we got everything solidified. So now when you apply to Red Deer Polytechnic, there's a question on the application because we want to ensure we're not giving away PALs to students who don't need them. There is a small list of exemptions where students do not require PALs. So what we do now is it's in the application on the final page of the application, asking students if any of the exemptions apply to them. Then once we go to, so the student proceeds with the application, we look at their eligibility on the academic side, and then whether there's space in the program. If there's space in the program, then we email the student asking them to pay their tuition deposit. This time the tuition deposit is $1,400, and then that's when we release the LOA. When we release the LOA, we go back to that question on the application and determine, do you need a PAL or do you not? If the answer is yes, then we put in the request to the government at that point. And within usually a week to 2 weeks, you'll have your PAL in hand. So we send that out through MyCreds, and students will get an email telling them how to access that document in MyCreds, how to set up their account, and then that's delivered then. So we're working our way through it. But as it stands right now, we've issued quite a few PALs. The provincial government, I think Alberta was the first province actually to start delivering PALs. And, we are certainly moving forward. The provincial government has been extremely quick in offering PALs or issuing PALs. So it's been quite actually a smooth process once we got our side of things sorted out and how we collect that information.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. At least now they know that we have allocations.
Yes.
For especially, you still have seats for September this fall?
So most of our programs are full for September. We do have a scholarship program going on for onshore students. So if you are an onshore student who, was maybe affected by some of these policy changes and, are maybe thinking you don't want to pursue your studies at a PPP anymore, or you value one of the programs that we have here. We do have a scholarship program going on for new onshore applicants to Red Deer Polytechnic, where we have allocated a specific number of seats for the fall for those students. So it is a small selection, but we have seats in university sciences, university arts, our 2 engineering technology programs, computer programming, our business diploma, and the practical nurse program. So we have a small amount of allocated seats there, where we are holding those seats for students who are studying onshore who might, be looking for new alternatives. Those seats are still available to students for the fall. but yeah, unfortunately, at RDP, we scaled our growth fairly responsibly. So we didn't create a whole whack of seats and blew out new programs. We kind of learned from some of those things, and we wanted to make sure that our communities could support the international growth and make sure that students could still find housing and could still find jobs. So our capacity is still relatively manageable, but it also means some of our programs fill quickly. So particularly those popular diploma programs, they usually fill quite quickly. And like I mentioned, we are getting pretty full for the fall as it stands right now. We do still have some availability. It's just some of the popular programs have been full.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And also, you mentioned that the deposit is only 1,400, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was about to ask because Kuya Nikki, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is one of the one of the lowest numbers we've heard for tuition fee deposit.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know there has been changes and there's discussions happening in the sector, especially with the allocations of PALs. Some schools are using that tuition deposit as kind of a way to determine. And just to have some confidence that a student is invested. At this point, we are confident that the students who are choosing to study here are invested in us. But I know there are conversations being had throughout institutions, throughout the sector, and throughout the province. But as it stands right now, Red Deer Polytechnic is holding the tuition deposit at 1,400.
Perfect. And one thing I wanted to point out that with Red Deer Polytechnic or the Red Deer city, the minimum wage if you work in Calgary and Edmonton as well is just the same as in Red Deer.
Yep.
Mhm.
So very low cost of living. Still, the minimum wage is just the same. Working in a big, huge city, and staying at Red Deer, you pay the same. You get the same pay. So saving, 5% tax, low housing costs, and of course the minimum wage. Wow. I mean, could you ask for? What more could you ask for, right? And this is what the Filipino wants. Very affordable. And of course, you mentioned about scholarship. Do you guys have any scholarship that you offer for Filipino or for international students?
So right now, we are still working on our international scholarship program. It is something new to us. Most of our scholarships, there are a lot of scholarships available to students, but most of our scholarships are based on academics. So not much on the way of entry level scholarships right now, although we are working on that scholarship program. But most of them will be eligible in their second year of studies, and it would be based on their academic success in their programs.
Okay, perfect. And do you have any? I know it's on your website. I mean, all the tuition fees are in the website and it's updated. If you want to learn more about the fees, but Chantal, just an average, how much is a one year tuition fee?
So tuition, I would say, is roughly $15,000 a year, depending on the program. Usually about 15 to 20. If you look on our website, it does vary program to program. And if we're just looking at tuition costs or whether or not we're including all of those mandatory fees, because there are fees associated as well. So what is on your LOA is your basic tuition cost. However, there are additional fees that are tacked on there. And we do on our website have that full breakdown. So the costs on our program pages include everything from your books to your health insurance, to your dental coverage, to your travel insurance. It's all included there and broken down piece by piece. So if you want to know exactly where your tuition fees are going, you can see that breakdown on our website.
And for the international students, does Red Deer offer discounted or free bus?
Yeah, so So students, once they are here, have access to a student bus pass at a discounted rate. That is offered through our Students Association, so they can buy their bus passes right here on campus. It's usually something that we cover in our actual orientation. So we have an international student orientation once you get here. And this is where we'll go over some of those things that we touched on in our Foundations for Success course, but we also do a campus tour. And then we show you where you can buy your bus pass. You can do it right on campus, and it is at a discounted student rate.
Wow, that's good. Because how much is the bus per month now? The bus pass, like 180 or something?
I think it's definitely over $100. So if there's a discounted rate, then it definitely helps students, because at this stage in their lives, whatever savings they could get would be something that they could use the funds for somewhere else. So with Red Deer, for example, maybe Kuya Nikki, we could also highlight that for international students, there are actually remote jobs out there that let you earn a higher pay, but you're still staying at a more affordable location.
So just while you were talking there, Michael, I just looked it up. So the monthly bus pass here at RDP for the student rate is $62 per month.
Oh, wow.
That's a huge savings, and that's unlimited, right?
Yep. Yeah, that would be your monthly unlimited bus.
Wow. And as we did our campus tour, we saw that the bus itself stops at the front of the campus. So you don't need to walk.
No, exactly. On those cold winter months, it's nice to kind of be dropped off or picked up in a warm bus and dropped off at the front door.
Yes. So and this is one of the benefits that if you will study in Red Deer, transportation is not an issue. If you want, it's a discounted 6 days, because here in Ontario, the students are paying $180 to $200 monthly pass.
See, these are things that we always take for granted, right? I mean, I have been at RDP for 15 years, and this is just normal to me. We take for granted some of the cost savings that we have here, and it's really interesting to hear that. That's like 4 times what we're paying here for a bus pass.
Maybe Chantal, maybe in the future, RDP can incorporate this fee under tuition fee that if you study in RDP, the bus pass is free already.
Yeah.
In the future, right? We never know, but still, it's $64 a month that you never. And also another question here is, the class size. How many students do you have per class?
It really depends on the class, but I would say on average, you're looking at 20 to 30 students per class. We do have some larger lectures where you could see potentially up to 100 students, but those are very rare. I would say on average, you're looking at 20 to 30 students per class.
And how's the class schedule? By average, like you said, 3 to 4 days a week, or it could be 5 days a week.
It could be 5 days a week. I mean, every program is different. So at RDP, we do have some programs. So our diploma programs in particular, many of them are what we call preset. And we do that to move students through in a cohort. So you're set up, once you come in the fall, you're going to move your way through the program with the same group of students from start to finish. As an RDP student myself, who actually went through a preset program, I can see there's a benefit to that. And it's because as a business student, we did a lot of group work. And you generate those people who work in the same way as you understand your student groups, and you move your way through. So once you find that team of people that you work really well with, you're moving through the program with that group as well. So in my mind, it was certainly a benefit to work my way through the program with my group of students that I did my group projects with, where we weren't morning people, so we stayed up late at night to do our studies. Or if you have part-time jobs, what works better for you. So it certainly helps when you move your way through the program and you find those people who help support you there.
So it's I think for us we call it a block section.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. So we do the registration for you. So in many of those programs, we will actually put you into all of your classes. Now, there is at times some flexibility where if there is an alternative course that you could take or a different section that you might want, you can speak with an advisor to make changes to those schedules. But what the intention is to make sure, particularly in those programs, sometimes there's a progression, right? And so there's a course will have a prerequisite. And so what we do is we put students through that to make sure that they don't get off track. Because if you miss a course that's a prerequisite to the next course, then all of a sudden you're chasing your tail to try and get back on schedule. So that's what we want to make sure is if you are making changes to your schedule, you're doing it with an advisor to make sure that the course that you're dropping is not going to have future impacts.
And also on the point of view of immigration, you don't want to become a part-time student during the first 3 years of your program. You are exempted to be a part-time student in your last semester. So the impact of being a part-time student for international students is it could disqualify you for your post-graduation work permit. So keep that in mind.
3 terms, not 3 years.
Oh, sorry, first 3 terms. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Just to be sure, because we have a lot of viewers right now that a lot of things in their mind are not connected properly because of the misinformation all over social media. And like I said, we have on our CIC can discuss about any immigration. Please do comment your question. Chantal can only discuss about RDP. And for me itself, I'm an education consultant. I'm also allowed to discuss about schools only. So that's separate us from Michael. So we always say this one, we let the right person talk about immigration because it's a very important topic. And of course, it's a regulated topic as well. Not everyone can discuss about it.
And also when you're moving to a different country, you have to be familiar with the rules and the laws that govern that country or culture, for example. Which is very nice with Canada because it's very welcoming to multiculturalism. So that's what I noticed. Like when you come here, you could be yourself. It's not like other countries where you have to be careful, like you're stepping on eggshells because there's too many restrictions. So that's what I really like about Canada, actually.
Yeah, and I think you touched on a really good point, Nick, is just with all of these changes, and we know that there's so much that's impacted students' decisions at this point with the changes in the government, but there's a reason that it's regulated, and we're kind of seeing that, right? I mean, I know for me, there was instantly just a lot of apprehension that nobody can get a PGWP anymore. And that just wasn't the case. So make sure that you're talking to people like Michael who are certified to give that advice, right? Because, it's like a game of telephone, right? The message starts off here, and as it gets passed, it loses context. And I think that's what we're really seeing with some of these changes. Understandably, these changes do have large impacts to students' decisions. But you want to make sure that you're making those decisions in an informed way from a professional who can speak to it in fact, not in that distorted sense of, communication that has kind of run the mill here lately. And I think, again, understandably, it's hesitation, it's fear, it's things that have kind of snowballed some of this conversation. And I think it's really important that you reach out to this team and to Michael specifically if you have any of those hesitations about the changes that have happened, rather than getting your information from your friends or somebody else who might have heard it. Right?
I remember we played the pass the message game.
Exactly.
8 people trying to transmit the message. But by the end of the day, the message it's
different.
It's different.
It's different. Yeah. I
Because-
like how Chantal called it telephone. For the
That's what we called it when
yeah,
we
we call it
used to
pass
play
the
it.
message.
I see. But Chantal, thank you very much for really joining us. This I think this is the first time to do this with you.
With
Yeah.
Chantal, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did it last time with Shelby.
Shelby and Elise, yeah, I think I was doing my research and I was looking online and I saw that we had Shelby and Elise on.
We
Yeah,
also did with Kelvin before.
Kelvin.
Kelvin,
Yes.
Kelvin, and then yeah.
Yes, but we really, like I said, our heart is with Red Deer. We fell in love with the school itself. It's a very huge school. You really feel the life of a college, a collegiate life. I mean, for me, it's like a huge university already. And
The sports stadium. It's
yes,
a really big one.
Yes, yeah, we when we hosted the Canada Winter Games, we developed that sports facility and it was just state of the art and we're really lucky to have that on campus as well. So we have a full-size hockey rink, we've got basketball, we have a fully equipped gym and a track. So if you're the athletic type, that's right here on campus for you as well.
and the thing that I really remember when we did our campus tour is during at the parking lot, there are deers all over the place.
Yes.
Just imagine that there's deers all over the place, and they're just there. I mean, people don't disturb them. I mean,
But I did not see a red deer. I saw a regular deer.
It's kind of like the old tale of like the little unicorn, right? We'll always look for that red deer.
Oh, so that's what it's about. It's because I was
Yes.
about to ask why is it called red deer.
It's the fable of the red deer.
Oh, okay, now we get it.
But yeah, I mean, just recently we had a mom and a baby moose living on campus. And so he was just wandering around, and every day you drive in. So yeah, it definitely, like I said, we're a city, but we live right in the heart of, a natural, beautiful community as well.
yeah, and you're so close to the highway.
Yes, very accessible. Like I said, we're kind of in that transportation hub between Edmonton and Calgary, but like you can see our big sign right off of the highway,
Yes.
which is our commuter highway.
And of course, if you want to go, Jasper, Banff, or if you're into like camping trails,
Yes.
there's a lot of things that you can do in Alberta.
Yeah, it's another thing that we kind of take for granted, right? What's right in our back door. But, when you go to Banff, you realize there's people who come from all over the world to see those Rocky Mountains, and they're right in our backyard. So we're certainly very lucky.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to go back there now. Especially it's summertime because I wanted to experience more on Alberta on the summertime.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
We always go there the winter time. It's a different story. But summertime, it's a very wonderful place to visit.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. But Chantal, once again, thank you very much for sharing your expertise and your your school today. And bro, speaking of Philippines, Chantal is gonna be visiting our office. No,
Oh wow.
probably yesterday that she's planning to visit our office in Manila.
All right.
I think it's going to be between June 18 and 19.
Yeah. So we're there for a really quick trip. We're only in Manila for about 5 days, but
Oh,
we're
wow.
excited to
Quick.
meet kind of the back end team from Sun-Cor right there in Manila. So Nick is going to set me up so we can,
Yep.
meet the team and maybe have some delicious food while we're there too.
Oh,
We'll
definitely.
prepare something.
Definitely.
And also, I told Chantal that we're going to be doing the homecoming event this coming August.
Yes.
And she said that, she's going to try because she just, she has a trip this June and then go back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I told her, if she needs to represent, because she remember the Edu Canada,
Yep. Yep.
Shelby
Yep.
and Chantal was there, and we were the one helping them during that Edu Canada event.
Yes, that was my first recruitment event, and we were just swamped. There was people coming from all directions, and thankfully Michael and Nick stepped up and helped us kind of gather the crowd, because it was certainly it was definitely an experience. We were full of students and we were so excited to see it, but certainly appreciated your guys' support on that one.
No problem.
Yes, the Filipino market right now is increasing, especially with the international student. Yes, there are new policies, but still, we educate them the importance of studying. We, as Michael and I, we always tell them that studying here in Canada is not easy, and studying here in Canada, you need to have pre-planning for everything.
Yeah.
That's why we're gonna do this homecoming event to educate them what's the reality here in Canada, what do they need to expect, what's the reality. At the same time, with a licensed immigration consultant, can really discuss to them what are the different pathway for permanent residency, because we know 99.9% of our applicants, they want to settle down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, but we always tell them study visa does not guarantee permanent residency, especially if you don't have a game plan.
Yes.
And and we're here to help them out. We're here, Michael and I, we're like, the term kuya, what does it mean?
Well, you guys are Kuyas. Isn't that like brothers and sisters, kind of something like that?
Yeah.
Kuya and Ate? Is Ate the
Ate is big sister.
Ante? Yes.
Ate. Kuya is big brother.
Yeah. So that's how we take care of our, not only even if they're from other agencies, we welcome them, because most of them they felt that they were left out by their agency.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they get the commission, they get paid, and after that, you're on your own. We always tell our kababayans or fellow countrymen that the real journey starts once you arrive here in Canada. This is the reality, right? You guys are the ones studying. You guys are the one living here in Canada. The agency, they just get the commission and the payment you did, and that's it. But for Sun-Cor, we don't work like that. We always see to it that every now and then we visit the campus itself, the students, and we make sure that they're updated with the new policy. We do in session, and of course, Michael is just an hour and a half drive in Calgary, just in case.
Oh,
yeah. Or maybe if you guys want Michael to visit Red Deer and discuss about immigration, we'll be happy to,
Or pick up the hoodies.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay. There's one question before we end this live. From Musali Vargas Tolentino. Need po ba ng IELTS? Does Red Deer requires IELTS, or they can use the medium of instruction certificate?
So actually, we require neither for students from the Philippines. So we recognize English as the language of instructions in the Philippines. And so we don't require any further proof of English, except in some cases for healthcare programs. There is a higher level that's needed. So they may have to provide proof of English language proficiency for health programs specifically. But for the majority of our programs, we do not require IELTS or an MOI.
Perfect. Okay, Chantal, do you have any few words before we let you go to our viewers?
No, I mean, for me, I'm just so grateful to have you guys as our partners, to have the opportunity to speak to your viewers. And also, I mean, when you were talking, I think, our views align when it comes to student supports. And I think that's what's been so valuable to us over the years, is that, you approach our students in the same way as we approach our students, that it's not just about recruitment. It's not just about getting you here. It's what happens once you're here. And I think we're so grateful for you guys, because at the end of the day, we all know that there are some bad actors in the industry. And, we can confidently say that if you're in the hands of the Sun-Cor team, you'll 100% be taken care of. They've been great partners for us. And, we look forward to continuing to work with them in any capacity. And, Nick has my number. He can text or call me whenever you need anything. He's got me on the hotline. So We certainly are well connected and have benefited greatly from the relationship we have with you guys. And so I just wanted to say thank you to you for all the work that you do, for helping guide your students in a respectable way, and for always being champions here of RDP and for us. I'm just extremely grateful. So, salamat po. Is that how I say that?
Oh, perfect. You'll blend in. You'll blend in the
I'm trying.
And of course, take care. Safe travel going to the Philippines this next month. And
Yes.
hopefully we will prepare some food for you, some delicacies. Just tell us what are the
you want to try, and then we'll.
Oh man, I'm just gonna eat pounds and pounds of pancit noodles. It's just my favorite.
Okay, Chantal, thank you very much once again. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of the week.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Stay safe always. Take care.
Bye, Chantal.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ayan, so mga kababayan, maraming salamat po sa pagtangkilik ulit sa amin sa Morning with the Kuyas. Before kami magtapos po, mag-shoutout muna po kami. Baka may magtatampo.
Yan.
Natin po si Miss Jen Rose. Hello po mga Kuyas. Hello.
Jen Rose, kumusta po?
Ayan. So bago kami magano po, meron po kaming announcement lang po. No? This coming August 10, 2024 sa Fairmont, Makati po. It's a Saturday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Ito po ay libre, walang bayad. And Kuya Migrate, ano ba yung expectation nila sa mangyayari sa August 10 na balik-bayad with the Kuyas natin?
Ayan mga kababayan, as you can see, this is a free event at ang nakalagay po, Study, Work, Live, and Migrate to Canada Expo. We'll talk about, papahapyawan po natin lahat if you want to come as a tourist visa, if you want to come as a student, let's say you found an employer, you want to come as a worker, or general ideas of what is it like to live in Canada or how to migrate to Canada and become a permanent resident. This would be the place for you. If you are undecided, is Canada the place for you, or you want to go to Europe or wherever, attend lang po tayo sa event para ma-solidify or ma-finalize ang inyong decision making. This is a free event as usual, and for the year of 2024, one time big time po tayo. Tayo po ay isang venue lamang for the year of 2024 sa Fairmont, Makati po. This would be located at 1 Raffles Drive, Makati Avenue. So yung hotel po, Fairmont, Makati, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. po. So we chose this location because malapit din siya sa mga malls. So kung yung inyong mga anak na ayaw sumama sa ating free seminar, pwedeng magliwaliw muna sila sa mall para malibang sila habang kayo as parents, for example, are ending up making an informed decision if Canada is the place for you and your family. Yan po.
Yan. Meron tayong dito, bro. Sabi ni Miss Gianelli Laudato de Guzman. See you in August po, mga Kuyas. And congratulations, bro. Kaka-approve daw ng visa nila.
Congratulations. See you in September. Ayan.
Bro, pupunta muna daw sila sa event.
Yan, para naman makita natin sila.
Para kukunin niya yung hoodie niya.
Yung hoodie.
Yes.
Kukunin sa event ang hoodie. Ayan.
Bro, 20 days na nga tayo. Full visa, ano to sila, bro? Full visa.
Mabilis. I recall, mabilis yung kina Janelli.
Family of 3. Ayan. Congratulations, Janelli, for trusting Sun-Cor and of course, Canadian Corrales Immigration po.
Yan.
Pag-handle po sa inyong application. 20 days po approved. Family of 3.
Yes. Kuya Nikki, I think sa taas meron pang isa, si Mr. Yap, if I recall. Miss Melissa Golden.
Yeah. Ayan, have a ticket already. Yes po, invite your friends din po and families to come kasi don't forget to register kasi may mga paraffle po kami. One of that po is laptop, no?
Laptop, yes.
Pwede gamitin pagdating dito sa Canada. Ayan. So, eto naman si Chumin Ong. Hello.
Oh, ayan. So si Miss Chumin Ong, for example, Balikbayan 2022, Balikbayan 2023, 3 children nag-aral and the family themselves, they're already in Canada. So imagine, in those 2 Balikbayan events, buong pamilya ang nasa Canada na po.
Ayan, si Melissa. Ayan po. Mahalo po mga Kuyas. Si Fernando Joe Galang, uy, watching from Pampanga.
Mga kabalen, hello po.
Mga kabalin, kapatid kong kabalin dyan. Hello, hello. Shout out sa inyong lahat. Si Mr. Ronnie Yap. Yan, mga kuya. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng bumubuo ng Sun-Cor. Hello, hello.
Ayan. Congratulations at salamat sa pagtitiwala sa amin, Sir Ronnie Yap. Ayan.
Hindi kami nagkamali sa Sun-Cor. Mababait yung staff. Ang may-ari din po, mas mabait po. O di lang yung staff, mas mabait po. Ayan, ito naman ang ating regular follower, si Miss Laila.
Kumusta po, Madam?
From Saudi Arabia, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yan. Sabi ni Miss Ronnie, kahit makulit ako, andyan sila. Salamat.
Ayan.
Katie, Joanne, Nathan.
At sa lahat. Ayan.
Ayan. And of course, sabi nga, thank you, Sun-Cor, for all the assistance and support. Ayun. And eto bro, si...
Grens Harvey, ano po ang inyong tanong tungkol sa proof of funds? Just keep in mind, this is a public platform, so if it's too sensitive, try to edit some of your questions para hindi naman mabulgar yung yaman ninyo sa online.
Yes, ayun. So sa mga habang nagre-refresh tayo, if you guys are interested to apply with Sun-Cor po, please do send us an email at apply@sun-cor.com. We do process LOA for free, no? And then once you get your LOA, you have two options. Pwede po kayo mag-DIY sa pag-process ng visa or get our full visa assistance.
Yes.
Nangangailangan or nangangapa or namumblema sa status dito sa Canada?
Yes.
Always encourage you to book a consultation with Kuya Mikmik. Just visit studyworklivemigratecanada.com. As an RCIC, si Kuya Mikmik po has all the rights and credentials to discuss about immigration. Yes, may bayad po yun, but yung bayad na po yun is deductible naman po if you will proceed to the other services po, no? Yung consultation na po yan. If you need an urgent consultation, please do send us an email at info@studyworklivemigratecanada.com. Ayan, sa ating mga viewers.
Siguro pahapayawan natin, Kuya Nikki, ano ba nangyayari sa consultation? So, ang trend for the year 2024, pansin ko, yung consultations natin has been overtaken by PR consultations, or believe it or not mga kababayan, yung mga bagong dating pa lang ng Canada. As in 1 month pa lang, actually yung iba nga 2 weeks pa lang, nagpapakonsult agad. And sabi ko, initially I told myself, parang aga magpa-consult itong mga to. But then during the consultations, ang kagandahan naman sa mga Filipino natin na Sun-Cor babies, they already have a plan. They want to implement a plan and they want to double check with the professional if the plan is actually feasible or not. So ito po yung mga maganda nating tulada na darating may plano and gusto lang nilang i-confirm tama ba yung plano o hindi. Kasi minsan we are romanticizing a plan and turns out it's not feasible for you because you just found it from someone else's online experience. So dito po pumapasok yung importansya ng proper consultation and guidance para makita ninyo, tama ba yung ginagawa ko o mali? Or for example, may dadating sa akin, pag-graduate na, magko-consult, paano ba kami ma-PR? Only to find out, last year pa pala qualified yung asawa for PR. And ito yung mga ina-identify natin during consultations na, kunyari, sasabihin natin, ma'am, bakit nyo pa aantayin maka 1-year work kayo? Si husband nyo po, qualified na even before you graduated for PR. So dapat nasimula na agad. So nagkakaroon ng mga panahon na minsan hindi pa graduate ang student, pero dahil may OWP, naka-qualify na sila for PR. At best case scenario, nagiging domestic rate po minsan ang international student kasi na-PR na through the OWP. Doon naman sa mga walang asawa, don't feel pressured because sometimes some students actually qualify for FSW or Federal Skilled Worker right after graduation or sa mga provincial nomination programs. So may mga students po kami, may mga clients kami na Sun-Cor babies na inalagaan namin from student to PR na wala pang work experience, qualified na sa mga provincial nomination programs. And these are people in their 40s or close to 50s, mga kababayan. So kung express entry at express entry lang, mababa score nila. Pero nandun yung provincial nomination na plano ng tama. So yun po, wala pang 1 year work, mapi-PR na. So ito po yung mga pinag-uusapan natin sa consultation natin. Confirming the information, if there's bias or not, checking if their plan is applicable or not, or actually creating a plan for you, or discovering your PR pathways. So lagi na po namin sinasabi, nag-invest na tayo sa education, wag po nating tipidin pagdating sa information.
Yes. Bro, meron din tayong nagtatanong sa services mo rin. Good
Ayan.
morning, watching from Red Deer. Ayan, sakto.
Hi, Miss Easy. Please do send us an email, yung finlash ni Kuya Nikki, yung info@studyworkleavemigratecanada.com. Yes, we can do permit extensions. So yeah, wala pong problema doon. Ang importante lang po sa mga permit extensions, masubmit natin bago po mapaso kasi iba po yung extension versus a brand new permit kasi na-expire na. Ito, finlash ni Kuya Nikki, ang ating mga serbisyo. So pasadahan ko po mabilis bago tayo magtapos. Of course, kami ang original, if not the original, one of the first, free LOA assistance po. Dito po nagsimula ang adhikain ng Sun-Cor. Tulungan kayo, and one of the cheapest way we can do it is have a free LOA assistance. So libre po ang LOA assistance namin. And once you get the LOA, and in some cases the provincial attestation letter, ito na po yung panahon to apply for a study permit. So if you have a partner with you, meron po tinatawag na open work permit. As of the moment, may temporary policy po, pero malapit na itong matapos kasi patapos na yung 2024. So isang taon na lang. Yun pong restrictions for open work permit for some programs. So ito po ay para sa asawa or common law partner. PGWP or post-graduation work permit would be your work permit once after you graduate. Hindi po to automatic nangyayari. Kailangan po natin itong i-apply. And then work permit, ito naman po yung mga tinatawag nating LMIA-based or sometimes LMIA-exempt work permit. So shout out dun sa mga clients natin na LMIA-exempt kasi nasa mga provincial nomination ang pasok nila dito sa Canada. Visitor visa, gusto ninyo na yung sponsors ninyo, bisitahin kayo para makitang ito na ako, tito, tita, mother, father, kuya, ate, graduate na ako, I want you to attend. Honor student po ako, I want you to see my graduation. Ito na po siya. Or kahit yung simpleng ano lang, ate, nahirapan ako alagaan yung anak ko, pwede bang bumisita ka muna para tulungan mo ako magbantay para makafocus ako sa finals, for example. So dito po yan, visitor visa. Extensions naman, visa and permit extensions, let's say may bumisita sa inyo and they want to stay longer or nagkasakit kayo, gusto kayong alagaan, ito po yun, extension. Kasi ang turista po, for example, 6 months ang maximum stay, tapos we have to extend it. Express entry profile creation, this would be by the time you actually are qualified for one of the 3 express entry programs. Ito po yung Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker, tsaka Federal Skilled Trades. As mentioned earlier po, may tinatawag na PNP or Provincial Nomination Program. So, hindi po hadlang ang edad sa pag-PPR kasi, for example, ang Provincial Nomination Program, it has a different track and qualifications. Wala pong points for age most of the time. So, ito po yung pwede ninyong tuunan ng pansin tulad ng sinasabi ko kanina. Super visa, pag kayo po ay PR na at gusto niyo matagalan ng stay ng mga lola and lola para bantayan ng inyong anak, yan po tayo sa super visa. At kung ayaw nyo namang mag-aral pero may budget kayo at gusto nyo diretso negosyo na lang, if you're an enterprising type of person, dito po tayo sa Startup or Investor Program at Family Sponsorship. Kuya Nikki, ito yung mga kunyari nagkatagpo ulit ang magjowang dati at PR na yung isa at nagkatuloyan silang tunay. You can sponsor your partner to become a permanent resident of Canada. LAMIA po, Labor Market Impact Assessment based work permit, or ito po tinatawag na employer-specific work permit. Ito po ay para sa mga highly skilled Filipinos na nakahanap ng employer na willing na sila ay parang sa Filipino context sponsoran. So as a reminder po, kami sa Sun-Cor, hindi po kami employment agency, but we can process but if your employer needs support for processing the LMIA, we can do it. Or if you have an LMIA and you want to apply for an employer-specific work permit, we can also do it for you. Caregiver pathway po, yung home childcare provider and home support worker, pakatandaan po natin, patapos na yung pilot program. So wag po tayong maniwala dun sa mga nagbablog-blog na biglang ibebenta sa inyo to ngayon. Ito po ay patapos na by the middle of the year. Abangan po natin yung bago. Normally, when the pilot ends, it's either rebranded with a new name or extended with the given policy. So abang-abang po tayo. Pero congratulations po sa mga caregivers natin na dumating for the month of May. Salamat po sa pagtitiwala sa amin. And finally, Kuya Nikki, eto na. Ang ano ba tawag dito? Ang pinakadulo ng inyong student or Canada pathway, yung pagiging Canadian tulad namin, ang inyong pagiging Canadian citizen. So ano bang difference ng citizen sa PR? Number 1 po yung passport. Kayo po ay Canadian na. So ang ibig sabihin po nito, hindi nyo na kailangan ng PR card. Passport na lang po ang ipapakita ninyo para kayo ay makalabas-pasok ng Canada. On top of voting and etc. etc. So yun po. Ito ang mga serbisyo namin sa Sun-Cor. Hindi pa kasama dyan yung mga intangibles, yung mga networking events natin na nagaganap. I don't know, Kuya Nikki, kung napakita natin yung pinakahuli nating ginawa. It's attended by over 100 people from different nationalities, mga kababayan. Kung dati kadalasan Pilipino, we had this event na iba-ibang lahi po ang dumating from India, from Bangladesh, from some parts of Africa and Asia. So nakakatuwa po na ginawa namin to ni Kuya Nikki nito lang, I think 2 to 3 weeks ago sa Niagara Falls po. Nagkaroon kami ng event. Actually, nakakatuwa kasi ang dami nung umattend, and we were talking about almost everything under the sun on immigration kasi iba-ibang cases sa mga iba-ibang lahi. Yung iba mga LMIA workers, yung iba mga turista, yung iba mga estudyante, yung iba mga spousal sponsorship. So we were able to, ayun po, nakita ninyo. I'm not sure kung kita sa picture yung, pero ano po, very multicultural siya. So we were very happy na hindi lang Pilipino. Ayan yung kunyari sa ulo ni Kuya Nikki nakita natin. May isa from, I think if I recall, is taga-Africa and Middle East sila. So medyo diverse talaga. Which was actually very surprising na umattend sila. Naimbitahan sila ng mga friends nila and co-workers ng mga Pilipino. And they also had unique questions na hindi natin nadinig yung mga tanong sa mga Pilipino. Yun naman yung na-enjoy ko doon. It was a very good experience for us.
Yeah, so once again, if you guys are in need of help, pag nandito na kayo, kung nasa alanganin kayong position right now, you don't know what is your pathway or anong current status po ninyo, lalo na sa with all the changes sa immigration, please do send an email to info@studyworkleavemigratecanada.com para po mabigyan kayo ng assistance. But if you need to talk to Kuya Mikmik, you can also book a consultation. Just go to the website studyworkleavemigratecanada.com and you can yes, it's a paid consultation po, but this is very important kasi ang laki na ng ginastos natin. Bakit natin titipirin yung pinaka-importante na bagay, no?
Tsaka siguro, Kuya Nikki, apologies in advance sa ating viewers kasi kung magbubook kayo, I think ngayon ang available June na. So kung talaga pong time sensitive, please do send us an email. We will do our best na maisingit po yung consultation ninyo para matugunan agad, lalo na yung mga pa-out of status. Ito, Kuya Nikki, sagutin natin yung tanong ni Harvey Basa bago tayo magtapos. May question siya about proof of funds. Sabi niya, pwede ba dalawang tita ko in Vancouver, primary sponsor ko for my study visa application? Need ba ako personally mag-provide ng own 6 months bank statement? University of Niagara Falls. So, sa fall. So, Sir Harvey, yung number of sponsors kasi, it would always depend on your age. Pero kung kayo po ay, let's say, masters ang tinitignan, I'm assuming you're in your mid-20s or early 30s. Ang sponsors, actually, the best practice for sponsors, kung ayaw nilang lumabas sa papel, diretso bayadan yung school. Your sponsors could actually directly pay the school instead of moving the money under your name, for example. Depending on your age, there's also what's called level of stability, meaning mas mainam na meron ding funds under your name because you also want to come across as an individual that is ano ba sinunok ako? As an individual that is already established. Kasi po yung tinatawag natin na home ties, level of stability, this would be part of the assessment of your profile. So kung let's say si dalawang tita ay willing to help you financially, diretso na. Instead na lumabas sila sa papel, diretso na nila bayadan yung school, for example. That would be a better practice. But of course, it doesn't stop you from having sponsors. I think nagkaroon kami ng time na 4 yung sponsor ng bata pero kasi fresh from high school ito. So talagang ano naman po. It's not a bad practice but also check if you're fully dependent on your sponsors. Isipin nyo rin paano kung nag-away kayo ng sponsor ninyo at naiwan kayo sa ere. Kaya which could actually happen in reality. Kuya, yung tita ko biglang umayaw na kasi nag-away sila ng nanay ko. Ayaw na akong tulungan bigla. Ano nang gagawin ko? That's why it's always better to have the sponsor talagang commit if they're really wanting to sponsor. So yun po, Sir Harvey. Pwede siya, but of course, look at the other angles of your application din. Sabi ko ni Janelli, 20 days nga. Tama daw. Ang pagkakaalala mo, 20 days. Ayan po. Family of 3. So, pinakamabilis po namin 5 days. In our many years of doing this, I think 5 days yung pinakamabilis namin. For us.
Alam ni Harvey Basa, 1 year po. 1 year lang po ang required ng immigration.
1 year ang minimum, yes. Pero kung gusto niyo talagang di na kayo na-stress, aral lang kayo. Kuya Nikki, pwede ba nilang mag-advance magbayad ng 2 years?
Yeah, wala namang problema po. No? Pwede naman magbayad kung gusto nyo.
Ayan.
So, yun po. This and our session for today. No, maraming salamat once again for joining us. Abangan niyo po kami sa Friday. No?
Yes.
I think Friday, bro, what's the date of the Friday?
17 yata.
I guess po, unfortunately po pala sa Friday, meron kaming estudyanteng ikakasal. No?
So,
baka wala po kami morning with the Kuyas that day.
yes.
But tignan po namin. Baka sa
tignan natin. Malay nyo naman, may biglaan. So, abangan nyo po kami.
So, dumating na po kami sa level ng ninong at ninong sa kasal. Akala ko sa ano lang, sa anak.
Sa binyag lang, ngayon pala sa pagkakasal din. Oh my God.
Ayan. So, once again, si Joami Allen, just send us an email at applysan_.com. Ayan po. Si Wilson Ong, hello po. Good morning.
Hello.
And of course, si Lizelle Palmeras Landas.
Hello po.
Yes.
Hello po, Miss Lizelle.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kuys. Ayan.
Hi.
Ingat ka palagi, Fernando. So yan, maraming salamat mga kaibigan, mga kababayan, mga kamag-anak, kapuso, kapatid, kapamilya. Ayan. So, once again, this is Morning with the Kuyas with Sun-Cor. Kuya Mikmik, ang ating licensed immigration consultant.
Thank you po.
Ang inyong education consultant, Kuya Nikki po. And abangan niyo po kami sa next live po namin. Take care and stay safe and enjoy the rest of the week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye for now.